Hello gorgeous, it's Jen. Welcome back to my channel. Today I am going over my travel makeup and I am going to be having a little story time telling about my very recent trip to Panama. I have been home less than a week and I packed very simple makeup because I am typically the person that gets up an hour before my child gets up, and I knew that that wasn't going to be a possibility. So if you're interested in seeing what I chose to travel with, hear a little bit about my journey of hope with my severely autistic child, then just keep watching. So this little case is from Temu. It did have some separators inside. I don't know what happened to them. So it was a little bit annoying digging through my makeup looking for things, but I still made it work. What I like about this is that it's got a charging port and you can have the mirror light up, which was very helpful because I just sat in front of a window to put my makeup on every morning. The only thing I already have on my face is my Aquaphor. This is the Healing Balm Stick. I use this every single day. I normally put it on under my eyes after my eye patches, which I did bring. I can link those as well. I like the reusable ones and I just use a serum that I got on Amazon. But every morning I will take the patches off, put a little bit of this healing balm under my eyes just for some added moisture and smoothing, and then I usually put a bit on my lips. Because I am a matte liquid lipstick kind of girl, or if it's not a liquid lipstick, I like a lipstick that lasts. Brow gel, I chose this one from LA Girl. It is small, it is inexpensive. It is the Brow Perfect Extreme Hold Styling Gel. I like a lot from LA Girl, and this is definitely one that I like. It is not the strongest gel I've ever used, but it serves its purpose. Next, just like every day, I went in with this Australian Gold tinted sunscreen. I've been really enjoying this. This has a 50 SPF, titanium dioxide, zinc oxide. I like it because it really works well with my oily skin. And I like that it has a little bit of a tint. It looks like it's not gonna match at first, but then it does as you rub it in. And I am happy to say in that Panama sun, I didn't get red, at least on my face at all. So let me share a little bit about my precious son, Luke. He is 12 years old. He was diagnosed with learning delays at age 2. I noticed that he had lost some speech. He was becoming a little bit pickier with his eating. I'm gonna go ahead and add my eyeshadow while I'm talking. This is the Essence Matte Liquid Eyeshadow in Toasty Temptation. This is waterproof. This was amazing on my trip. And I'm gonna use this dirty 301 brush from Real Techniques to blend it in. So Luke, at age 2, he was diagnosed with some learning delays. By age 3, we were pretty clear that he had autism. And you know, it's hard because, you know, people tell you, don't worry, he's gonna grow out of it. You're gonna get him therapy and mainstream him into a typical school. And those are all hopes and dreams of any autism parent. He does go to a fully autistic school. He does have supports at school as far as therapy. He has supports at home. We have ABA that comes. I have home health aides that come and help because with Luke there are some challenges. If I needed a close-up mirror, I would just grab something that had a mirror in it. This is my L'Oreal bronzer that I think I take on every trip. The home health aide helps with the behaviors because truly Luke has to be watched all of the time. He loves to climb. He has no sense of danger. He likes to be destructive. He runs, so he is an eloper. The food has gotten a little bit better in the last couple of years. There was a time where he ate cookies and ice cream and chips, and that's about it, which was very scary because he was very thin. Fast forward to one of my husband's sister's friends emails him or messages him and says, hey, I was reading about this stem cell treatment online and I think this might be something that you should look into for Luke. So my husband is fabulous. He started researching this stem cell treatment and was really deep diving into it to see what are the results people have had, how do people feel about it, is there any danger? Because this specific treatment that we went for is not in the US, so we had to travel to Panama to do it. Now this doctor, I believe his name is Dr. Riordan, he's the one that founded the Institute, and he wrote a book. We saw all kinds of testimonials from parents talking about the benefits that they've seen from stem cells, and we made the scary decision that we were going to go to Panama and get this treatment for our son. By the way, this liquid eyeshadow is amazing. I was in rain and extreme humidity and it didn't go anywhere. I cannot say the same for the hard candy. This one did not last quite as well. I brought a darker color. This is Rich and this is Cake. And the Rich I was really struggling with. I thought that this was easy to use, but maybe because it's such a dark shade it makes it harder. This one didn't work out well at all. I had to throw some shimmer on top of it to cover patchiness. The Cake did much better as far as application, but I did notice that it wore down a bit during the day. By the end of the night, it didn't look so fabulous. But this one, great. I wish Essence would come out with more colors. They have, I believe, a purple and a more orange, but right now, this Toasty Temptation, loving. I couldn't help myself. I also brought my Patrick Ta. This is his Major Dimension Eye Illuminating Eyeshadow Duo, and I brought it in We Need Better Lighting, just in case I wanted to dress up any kind of eye look. And I was a little nervous traveling with it, but I brought this just in case I wanted a little extra bling, and I just tapped it very, very lightly. And this is a beautiful product. I think when you are seeing this video, the Sephora sale is still going on. I do recommend it. I have a deeper shade as well I'll pop up, but these are so gorgeous. If you want a scattered effect, they are not super pigmented, but there is something just very delicate and pretty about them. For brows, I brought this She Glam Brows on Demand 2-in-1 brow pencil. This is just so easy. It's got a pen on one side, it's got a pencil on the other. I have mine in a shade that is not written on here. I will, of course, let you know. And this one did really well, except for the day that we did an excursion. So I got a passport in 2020 before the world shut down, because my husband and I were supposed to go away for our 15th wedding anniversary. Well, that trip was canceled, so I've been holding on to this passport for so long. Then we went on our cruise at the beginning of March. We were supposed to go to the Bahamas, and our ship had weather. So they decided not to go to the Bahamas. So my poor little passport still wasn't used. So it's a little exciting. I got to actually get a stamp in my passport going into Panama. But this treatment center included the 4 days of treatment, the hotel, transportation to and from the center, as well as transportation to and from the airport. We had a couple different room options and really hotel options. So we chose a hotel that was a couple minutes away from the center, even though there was a hotel attached to the center, because we wanted to have a kitchen. Sigma color correcting duo in light to medium. Loving it, have been using it pretty much every day. So a kitchen was important to us because Luke is still limited in what he will eat. So we wanted to be sure that we would have the opportunity to go to a grocery store and pick up things that he will eat. And he is eating better. He's eating chicken nuggets and French fries, and he'll eat fruits and vegetables, which is all fantastic. So grateful for that. Flight was super long. I'm gonna go completely out of order because I am story time sharing. For liner, I used the Moira Micro Tip liquid liner in black. This worked out really well. I did not have any smudging or smearing while I was there. So the flight was not super fun. We heard stories of people, am I really trying to talk doing liquid liner? Of people giving their kids a little bit of Benadryl. We decided to go with the melatonin that he takes because Luke does not sleep well, but he's also very regimented. So here we are in airport security on our way there. We give it to him and he promptly spits it all over the floor in security. Didn't quite work out. So that was fine. As an autism parent, you learn to roll with the punches and just keep going. And that's what we did. We just kept going. We got on the plane, we hoped for the best, and he did fine. I'm going to throw a little bit of my Revant black liner. I traveled with this. It is trustworthy, easy to apply. I did bring my lash separator. I believe this one is from JCat. I really like to brush through my lashes before I add mascara. I brought a tubing mascara. This one is from e.l.f., the e.l.f. Lash Extender, because I knew I was going to be sweating. I didn't want to take any chances on my mascara moving. So if you are not familiar with stem cells, because I sure as heck wasn't, you should definitely Google it because it's very interesting. They are derived from umbilical cords, and they are these amazing things that go into the body and, from my understanding, help the function of whatever the concern is. There are people that get stem cells for sports injuries, for a hurt knee, a hurt shoulder. There's a lot of research about what it can do for autism as far as speech, understanding, more eye contact, better gut health, because Luke does have a lot of problems with using the bathroom. He is 12, he's in a diaper, sensory issues, and the scariest part is that there are no guarantees. So it truly was a trip. We just had to put faith in what could happen. They said it can take up to 6 months to see any results, so we don't know. We've been home less than a week. We haven't seen anything, but obviously I am hoping that it was worth it. Now I'll share a little bit about what it was like being in Panama while I blend in my concealer. I haven't shared this with you all yet, but I had been hearing some great things about this new Double Wear Stay in Place concealer from Estee Lauder. I picked it up in 3C, so I brought that along, and I just put a little bit on top of that Sigma corrector and just blend it in with my finger. And sadly, I have to say I'm not in love with this concealer. I do find it to be a little bit drying, even with my very prepped under eyes. It's got good coverage, it is smooth, but if you wanted to try it out, my words of advice would be make sure that your under eyes are super hydrated, number one, and number two, I can't set it. Every time I set it with my favorite powders, with any powder, it ends up looking a little bit dry under my eyes. For me to wear it and have it look its best, very hydrated under eyes, no setting with powder, because it does self-set. It does not crease, which I do appreciate. It does last all day. It didn't fall apart. Good coverage. I like it. I'm not blown away by it. Adventures in Panama, by the way. Lisa Eldridge, Pinpoint Concealer. Love this. I told myself I'd use it for travel. I use it way more than that. It is just so easy to just look and see, are there any discolorations? If you don't want to put foundation on, and just cover the little bits that you need to cover. Mine is in the shade 3, I believe. Yeah, one negative is that the writing does come off. I do use this quite a lot on any sort of darkness or discoloration. I just tap it in and good to go. I did bring my retired formula of the Givenchy Prisme Libre. I have mine in the shade Satin Blanc. It didn't do great with the concealer, so I barely touched that. I did also bring my LA Girl Pro Face HD High Definition Matte Powder. Mine's in Creamy Natural, just to set a little bit, especially where I get oily, and this one does have some coverage in it, so this was nice to have, but I did avoid those under eyes. I mentioned this before, the L'Oreal Infallible 24-Hour Fresh Wear Bronzer. I have this in 2 shades. I brought medium because I knew I was going to have a little more sun. But being in a foreign country where you don't speak the language, which sadly enough, I took 4 years of Spanish in school, I was lost. Especially if you say, I only speak a little bit of Spanish, woo, they just start talking. And it was a little bit of a struggle when we went out. The menus are in Spanish. Oh, look at that gray. Meant to use my powder. I love my powder. I'll pop up a picture, but I forgot to use it. I'm still trying to catch up with real life in the house. I have a good friend that just had pretty major surgery. I'm gonna go see her on Thursday. I'm getting through it. So we used a lot of Google Translate. We were able to get some groceries that we could eat because eating out was a bit of a struggle, as I mentioned. For blush, I just did what was easy, and I brought my e.l.f. putty blushes. I brought a pink one because I had a pink shadow, and I brought this more brownie terracotta-y shade. This is Bali, and I used Bali a lot. I think one day when I wore the pink hard candy, I used this one, but most of the time I used Bali because I had the essence on. The bronzer brush that I brought is Alter Ego. I believe they have replaced these. If I can link them, I will, or I'll link the new ones because I imagine they're just as good, if not nicer. And then for blush, this is a cheapy Temu that came in a set. If I can link it, I will, but I use this all the time in my bedroom, so it was easy to pack. It's just small and angled. It's actually very similar to my one from JennDBeauty. Look at that. That's pretty darn similar. The Singe is just a little bit smaller. But this little cheapy Temu, I don't even think I have any of the other brushes. This one stayed, and it was just a couple bucks. I like to put especially cream blush on with this one. I love this Bali shade. I could have worn this all by itself as like a bronzer sort of shade. I think that's why I like it so much. But these putty blushes really do hold on nicely. Little side note as I'm digging through, I did bring a little perfume. It says Vanilla Candy. I think it is Kayali, which, by the way, wait till I do my Sephora haul. Oh my goodness, I found the perfume that is the perfume of all perfumes. Have you ever tried Kilian? I've ordered 2 of these Kilian scents and I got my big Gucci, but I will share more in my Sephora haul. For lips, I grabbed this Velvet Pigment Outlast from CoverGirl. This is in the shade Baked Clay. I thought this would just be a nice easy brown that was going to stay on my lips, and it did do pretty well. And then I brought my Bombshell lip liner from Moira. This has been a favorite, very long lasting. This is a nice warm shade. For my pink lipped days, I did bring a new favorite from Wet n Wild. This is their Mega Glitter. This is the one that you put it on, you wait a minute, and then if you tap your lips together, you get some glitter. Love this one. I think this one wears even better than the CoverGirl. So inexpensive. I need to get more shades. This one is a shade that I can't read, but you know I'll pop it up. And then one of my favorite lip liners from Hard Candy. This is the Instapout in Boyfriend. So fun time in Panama, other than the nervousness of taking him to the clinic, even though they were super professional, fabulous in the way that they handled him. I couldn't believe they were able to give him the IV injection so smoothly. I mean, definitely there was kickback, but he did so well. They also did a nasal spray of a derivative of the stem cells. Did great. We did some fun things. We went and saw some birds and monkeys and crocodile. I had fun on the boat. The part where we did the hike, I did not have fun, but we did a little bit and then we walked back to the bus. Panama is a city, so it wasn't super conducive to us walking around. There was a lot of traffic, some crazy driving that went on, but we did manage to find a park. We walked to the grocery store a couple of times. Nice hotel. It had a rooftop pool. I'll show you some pictures. Luke definitely had some shenanigans at the pool, but had a good time. We brought our 18-year-old, my son Daniel. I'm so glad that we had this together. Team Luke, mission of hope. And speaking of hope, I hope that this was enjoyable for you. Any well wishes, good thoughts, positive energy, prayers, whatever your thing is that you can send to my family, specifically Luke, I would very much appreciate it. Hopefully I gave you some good travel makeup ideas. Thank you for listening. Thank you for letting me share. I do feel like you are my friends. I share about my family. Any special needs mamas out there, or if you have a family member or a friend that has been touched by autism, hopefully this will give you an idea of research that you can do. I will keep you all posted if we see gains, which I'm praying that we do. And if you're here for the makeup, thank you for staying. I hope that you will consider subscribing. I upload videos on Mondays and Saturdays. Give the video a thumbs up and leave me a comment. Let me know what you thought about the makeup, what you thought about the story, or just leave me a heart to let me know you were here. I thank you so much for joining me today. I will see you in the next one.